ability, but also as a person and how he fits with our program. And I'm just excited to have him here.
You got to convince Kirk to let you take a trip down there. 2-week recruiting trip?
I've taken 2 trips
to
Australia, and it's not as glamorous as it sounds. It's 27 total hours one way, and it's one of those flights is 17 hours in one seat, so it's a little bit tough.
Awesome.
Business class though?
This year, yes. No, it's premium economy is what it was this year. First time was not. It was a middle seat in standard economy.
Rhys told us about
Thanks, Coach.
story, how you guys were in a coffee shop or something. Tell us more about how you recruited Rhys and what he did to interest you and what you said to basically convince him to pack his life here at Iowa State.
Yeah, I think Tory was definitely influential in that. Tory had seen him and worked with him, had trained with him once before, and he felt like he was an incredibly talented young man. Felt like he would fit well here at Iowa. Tory knows me, I know Tory, knows my personality, knows the personality of Iowa and Iowa football. And I feel like he was a big advocate for that. But as far as like his ability, I got a chance to go over there and watch him punt and see. I know the guys there that he trains with and how they go about their business. But getting a chance to go over there and see Rhys and meet his family and just get comfortable with them, get comfortable with us, and us comfortable with them, I think it's a big deal.
Any similarities with Caden Weegan and punt return duties to maybe some of your greats like Cooper or even Charlie?
Yeah, I think Weegan is capable of being as good as he wants to be. I think he needs to be a little bit more consistent how he fields the ball, and then also he's learning the game a little bit more. But he can run, right? He's low to the ground. He's explosive. He can hit the home run at any time. But he's done a really good job so far. And when Cooper went down, I don't think we missed a beat with Weegan stepping in. I know Cooper is a phenomenal player, and everyone loves him and wants him here. Feels great when he's on the field. But I think Caden Weegan is a very talented young man. And it's just been fun working with him and getting a chance to see how he's going to progress.
Who else
I think
is
there's
working
more for him out there than just as a punt returner, as a receiver as well, and then also in coverage.
So who else is working punt return and kick return duties besides Caden, besides Caleb Johnson?
Yeah, so as far as punt returns, it's Caden Weegan, it's been Zach Lutmer, it's been TJ Hall, TJ Washington, new guys are KJ Parker and also Rhys Vanderzee. Just some younger guys that we're working with right now.
Can you talk a little bit about Rhys Vanderzee? Young kid, obviously Central Lions produced some good athletes here. You mentioned Zach Lutmer, maybe those two guys. What have they shown specifically with punt return that gives them a chance at very young ages?
Rhys, I think both those guys, first off, they were coached very well by their coach, Curtis Eben, and that staff there. I've known those guys a long time, actually grew up with some of them on the staff. We were rivals in high school, so I have a good idea of where they're from and how they're coached, how they're raised. But and then also I feel like they work really, really hard, and they're very diligent. They're usually one of the first or second guys out here to get to work. It's just fun watching them. But I think they both have a skill set that lends to being very good college football players here at Iowa and also in the return game.
Brevin Dahl, is he, with his speed, is he in the mix for any special teams?
For sure. I mentioned Brevin earlier.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't think you were here
Yeah,
yet.
you're good.
I mentioned Brevin earlier. He's a guy also working in punt return.
Okay.
But I also see him as a kick returner. The guy's got elite speed, and it's fun to watch him. Just each day, I think he gets better. He's a very coachable young man, and just get a chance to work with him. I think each day he gets a little bit better, and once we get some real live action under his belt, I think he'll be able to learn quicker.
What type of an impact has having a veteran special team star like Kyler Fisher had on your unit?
I think Kyler Fisher is like the nuts and bolts of our special teams, to be honest with you. I think he's the guy that doesn't say much, but when he does, people listen. And he says a lot more with his actions than he does with his mouth. And I think that's like quintessential Iowa football. It's quintessential Iowa special teams. And he just goes about his work every day. There's nothing we can't ask him to do that he won't be able to do. Whether it's coverage, whether it's blocking, whether it's actually the return game, if we ask him to, I'm confident he can do all that. And his leadership has been really good. And I think he stepped that up this year.
Can Rhys throw the football?
He can.
Okay.
Both Rhyses can throw the football.
Okay.
Quick question for you. Obviously, the NFL is instituting new kickoff rules, and I don't know if you've been paying attention to that in case it trickles down to college, but what are your kind of thoughts on that?
Yeah, I have paid attention because I do feel like it's going to trickle down to college at some point. I visited 2 different pro teams this offseason to get a chance to get a jump on some of those things. I'm a traditionalist. Personally, I would prefer the old school 5-man wedge, as evidenced by the scar on my nose. That's how I grew up playing football. But whatever's going to keep players safe and keep the play in the game. And I think that's what's most important. That we're advancing the game, we're advancing football, and keeping it alive, and giving guys opportunities. I think the way it is right now, it's very interesting. I'm anxious to see how it plays out here in preseason and into regular season games.